a lot of lending for some of my clients, and he knocks it out of the park. And so we like to hear his perspective on things. So, and we're also going to be going live streaming on Facebook as well as YouTube right now. So we're going to get that underway. And thanks, Dan, for joining today.
Thanks, Kat. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Okay, I'm going to stream to Facebook and is it going to let me do that? Oh, this might make me sign in. Oops, I don't want to do that. Oh, I don't know if it's going to let me do it. Could try logging in with, no, that's not going to work. Google's not going to work. Use another account. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I think I might have to just bag that. I don't want to bag
That's
YouTube.
okay. I'll have the recordings.
I know. I like to live stream on Facebook when we can, because take advantage of it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not going to let me do it. It's going to ask me for my password, and I've already been through that today. So, you guys, not only did my internet go out the previous week, but Saturday my laptop wouldn't start. So it has been it's been 2 weeks of challenges. All the while, my house is being prepped for paint. I can't tell you what that's like. My clients can tell me, but I haven't done that in a long time. So anyway, oh boy, I tell you, I have a lot of empathy for my sellers now. Really, really going to look at this from a different perspective.
What's that old saying? They say it's not so much fun when the rabbit's got the gun, but anyways,
here we something are. Like that, Dan. I'm not sure where you got that from, but okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, all right. So should we jump straight into stats? I don't know if you guys joined me to hear the real estate statistics for the week, but here we go. We got King County stats. So King County, month supply of inventory is 1.3 months. 28% of sellers set offer review dates. 34% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market. And 51% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market. So King County, month supply of inventory is creeping up. I'm going to add a little side note to this. So I was going through my emails at 5 a.m. this morning, and I was noticing that I was getting some emails from new construction that I had been to visit recently with some clients of mine who had decided to wait. In August, they decided to put their search on hold until we saw prices come down this fall, because I feel like this is going to be a very typical fall market cycle. We've got really high interest rates. We had fairly strong buyer demand over the summer, but that's been waning since May. So it's been slowing continuously since May. And we've seen interest rates continue to go up, tick up a bit. And, the slight softening that we see is not going to boost anybody to get off the sofa and go buy a house. So the interest rates would have to come down markedly for that to happen. But what I am seeing, so given all that, I did get a couple of emails from builders today indicating their plats had some serious price reductions. In addition to price reductions, they're offering incredible financing program. So one of them is offering a 2-1 buy down, and they're at a starting interest rate of 6.25. So the the APR on that was 6.61. But what that did was, when you did the 2-1 buy down, so this is the builder paying for this. So the first year is 4.25 interest rate, and the second year is 5.25. And then the other 28 years are 6.25, which equates to 6.61 APR. The price that they dropped price $95,000. This is a plat in Montlake Terrace. And the $95,000 was for one particular unit, but that gives you an idea of where they went with their pricing. So they dropped significantly. We took a look at some of those units that are actually now less, and I'll tell you what, $95,000 makes them a lot more attractive. Because so some of those in there, they offer little street front kind of offices. You can use them commercially, but not for like retail, but more like services, like tax accountants, something like that. So they're on this, so that one of the bedrooms is on the street front, and it's got big tall windows and big doors with big glass. I mean, really, high ceilings. It's got its own bathroom. So you could elect to have a business there, or you could rent it to a business, or because it's got the main entrance, and then it has a little locking entrance that goes to that room that is a storefront. So your front door is next to that little office space there. So you can utilize that as a bedroom and just put up big giant curtains, which is what my client was thinking. The gal really liked those. I think it's called 47N. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is in Montlake Terrace. Anyway, those are going to be now closer to 7 than closer to 8, which I think is a much more attractive price point. And with that interest rate buy down,
Yeah.
I mean, that's walkable, right? You can walk to places along there. It's a fairly flat area with businesses around there. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Another one, it's called Ellis Station in Edmonds, did some price reductions across the board. And so she sent me their new price list, and they too are offering some 2-1 buy downs for interest rates. So both builders offering buy downs for buyers. So I think that's an indication that we're going to see more new construction possibly coming down in price as fall progresses. And that's what myself and my clients were hoping for, as they'll probably jump back in the market in November, start looking, because they don't want to not have any choices either. They like to get the unit that they want. So they don't want to wait too long. And don't wait till January 1st. All hell's going to break loose. Saying. All right. I got to wet my whistle here. All right. So that's King County. But the good news is it sounds like we're going to see some softening in housing prices here over the next couple of months, I believe. That's going to make it a little easier to get a better value for buyers. And if you can get the seller to do a 2-1 buy down, whether it's a new construction or existing home sale, that makes it a lot more palatable for buyers purchasing with the higher prices and higher interest rates, the double whammy for buyers, right? Okay, I'm going to grab a jacket. Let's see. Should we do this one? This is kind of casual. I don't know.
Let's go the casual route.
Okay, let's do this. This little boxy crappie jacket. Little white and black action, black and white. Oops, there's my microphones up there. Here we go.
There you go. There we go.
All right. So make sure my legs aren't hanging out here. I got these cute little shorts on, but you don't need my legs. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Snohomish County real estate stats. 0.9 months supply of inventory in Snohomish County.
0.9.
Mm-hmm.
And King was at
1.3.
1.3.
1.3.
Okay.
Their inventory is really creeping up. Yep.
Okay.
17% of sellers in Snohomish County got under contract within, or I'm sorry, 17% of sellers set offer review.
Review dates.
I can't get that out. 17% of sellers set offer review dates in Snohomish County.
This is kind of a funny stat, because we were doing a little prep work before we came on, and you sent me this the offer review dates. 4 weeks ago we were at 38% offer review dates. So
that's
you saw
right.
a lot more confidence.
And it went from 38 to 32 to 25, and now it's 17. And now it's the offer review date level is so low that it actually could hurt your seller to set an offer review date, because you may miss key buyers during the first week on the market. So it's probably not worth setting an offer review date in Snohomish County anymore, because buyers have too many opportunities to go ahead and go forward without having to compete. And they're not likely to want to compete in this market when there's so many other sellers that are not asking for that. So this would be the time when we switch gears and come on, no more offer review dates, guys. That's it. We're done with that.
Hey, Kat, this is the part that's kind of strange because I'm kind of jumping ahead here. So sorry about it if I ruin the ending here for some folks. But if the stats that we were looking at, the offer review dates have come way down, but the number of folks getting into contract within 7 days, for example, has come down just a little bit in the last 4 weeks. I mean, not that much,
Yes,
right?
and it helps when sellers don't have the offer review date. It helps facilitate that. So you see a lot less sellers in Snohomish County set offer review dates, but we still had 37% of sellers get under contract within the first 7 days. Last week it was 38%. So we're just down 1% more. The thing of it is, it's because buyers now can make an offer and they don't have to compete. So they don't have to wait until that offer review date goes by or that house disappears on them. So now they could go in and they might be able to ask for an inspection if the seller has not provided one. So it's right now is actually not a bad time. It's a good time to get out there in the market and buy something because there's a good chance that there'll be a nice house out there without an offer review date.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah. In which case you can, ask for an inspection contingency and, we can kind of operate as normal instead of under all this pressure. So 52% of sellers in Snohomish County got under contract within the first 14 days. Again, a super strong number, same as last week, but a lot less sellers set offer review dates. So again, making buyers relax and feel confident about going out there and making an offer on the home they want. So I think it's a great thing. I mean, we're getting so much more. We're nowhere near a balanced market, but we're getting so much more buyer friendly at this time of year. So this is a great time to jump out there and start looking. We're going to see prices soften over the next couple of months with the best prices probably be in October, November, December. And then that changes immediately in January because inventory will be drying up and more buyers will be jumping out into the market. Usually it's the third week of January. However, this last year, it was about the first week. So I say anytime after January 1st, watch out. You might be in multiple offers. So anyway, yeah. So Snohomish County, still doing really well. Okay, I'm going to do another jacket change, and then I'm going to do this with my other ones too. But just so that when I put this out there, people don't think they're watching the same video. Because I don't want them scrolling by my videos. I feel like people do that if I have the same thing on, Oh, look at my fuzzy microphone. That's the girl microphone.
There we go. Oh, it looks good.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Hey, do you mind if I pop up that one graphic that we've got on the if you've got one graphic, might as well use it. Let's see here. The time on market. Did you want to talk about that yet?
Oh, no, not yet. I want to get through that. I want to get through the counties. Let's do Pierce.
Okay, let's do Pierce. Yeah, there we go.
Let's get through the counties. So we want to make sure we get through those. And then we'll hit our other couple. I know. Dan gets all excited about, my charts and graphs and stuff, we're going to get there. I promise. So let's just get through the counties. Want to make sure the counties all know how they're doing right now because it's important. So buyers there know how to act and sellers know what they should do too. So here we go. Pierce County, 1.2 months supply of inventory. 17% of sellers set offer review dates. 26% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market. And 41% of sellers got under and 41% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market. So Pierce County pretty much staying very similar to how they were the previous week, but they have a softening going on, just like everybody else. So everybody's kind of following that same path right now. So you want to do Mason County?
Yeah, you know why I want to do Mason County?
Why?
Because I have a line here for the number set offer review dates. And as soon as you give the number, I've got a retort for it.
Okay.
Ready?
Mason County, 1.9 months supply of inventory.
Yes. What's the percentage of that have set offer review dates?
Nobody.
What?
0. Nobody set an offer review date in Mason County this past week.
We don't need no stinking offer review dates.
We don't need no stinking offer review date in Mason County. We don't need that. We sell just fine without. As a matter of fact, 15% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market.
Well, that's bleak. Go ahead.
25% of sellers got under contract within the first 2 weeks on the market. So it's a softer market there. And, I think a lot of times at the more outlying counties, maybe things slow down a little quicker in the fall, because I think a lot of their business may be more driven by time of year,
Right.
with people from our area going to visit Mason County during the summer when the weather's nicer and buying our vacation homes or cabins or what have you. So I think, and I think from across the country, you get a lot of out of state buyers in Mason and Skagit counties for the quiet country life, and the beauty of the Pacific Northwest without all the traffic.
Here's what I have to say to the folks of Mason County. The rest of this show is devoted to you because it's gonna help in every way, shape, and form to pump that number up and go from a 0% or 15% within 7 days. I'll bet you we can get us back to 18 to 20%.
You think we're gonna drive buyers to Mason County, Dan?
I think we could. Yes, I think we could do that. So that's
everybody go buy a house in Mason County.
Mason County.
It's beautiful.
It is.
I have clients in Mason County. I do. It is amazing.
It's a beautiful area, and
yes.
we just got to pump up, a little bit of.
We got to get some excitement built up about Mason County.
That's right. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Great view. You love interrupting, Dan. You know that.
I'll let you finish up Mason County. Did we finish up Mason County at 15% on the
Mason County? You're just fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we still have one more county. Dan, we have another county.
Skagit.
Are you forgetting Skagit?
Skagit County. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I better not forget Skagit. Oh my gosh.
I see my first two. The first two that's showing up in the what's MSI stand for? Month supply of inventory, Dan. Month supply of inventory. There you go.
I'm gonna wet my whistle.
We've got a 2 in front, a 2 handle in front of that.
We do have a 2 in front of that.
I'm sorry. You go ahead and take it from there.
Okay. Month supply of inventory, 2 months in Skagit County. 19% of sellers got under 19% of sellers set offer review dates.
Yeah.
24% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market in Skagit County, with 34% of sellers getting under contract within the first 14 days on the market. So there you have it, Skagit County. Skagit County's still doing all right.
Yep.
They have a few more listings than are being, snapped up in pendings, but that's normal for this time of year. So you might have to sit on the market 2 or 3 times as long as you would during the summer to get under contract. And you just have to expect that. Yeah. It's just a little more inconvenient, less buyers out there. So you might not have showings for a couple of days and then you might get 3 on one day.
And
so,
they're just not biting on those juicy interest rates that are out there right now.
The interest rates are so attractive right now, Dan. Oh my gosh. Oh,
very attractive rates out there right now.
Oh my goodness. I mean, once they hit 7, I got so excited. Not.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Oh goodness.
Okay, Dan, okay. I know you. So you still don't get to bring out your graph. You have to wait a minute. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Oh no, I don't even know. Well, we're on Dan's YouTube. We're not on my YouTube. Thanks, guys, on Dan's YouTube.
Somebody's
watching. Get logged in.
Somebody's watching us on my YouTube. This is unbelievable.
Well, maybe they could. They have the option. I don't even know if I have anybody watching me. I think I got 0. Am I live? I don't even know. Am I live? Oh, yeah, yes, I'm live. I have people watching. Mark is watching. Good. Lloyd. Go Vols. Miss Freckleface. Hey, hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going over statistics for the counties in our area. And we're now moving on to one of the topics for the day. So I came up with cats. This is my successful formula
Oh, we're
listing a home.
Oh,
So
this is the best part of the show.
Formula for listing a home. Okay.
There we go.
So this is my list, and this is the order in which you should do things. So we're going to run through that list, and then we're going to go over and talk about each topic specifically. But I want to just quickly do an overview. So the first one is you really should have a seller procured inspection and sewer scope. 2, find my okay. 2, you should have your roof cleaned, or if it needs to be repaired or replaced, have that done, as well as the gutters cleaned. 3, if you have any interior or exterior trim that needs repairing or any repairs that need to be done, have that done. 3rd. 4, we'll take a look at your kitchens and your bathrooms, and if it would be a good idea to have quartz thrown on there to update the kitchen or bathrooms, and that's the time to do that, or refresh the kitchen cabinets. 5, now it's time for paint on the interior and exterior if necessary. 6, now you want to take care of the flooring. So once it's been painted, now you can go in and you can either replace flooring if it needs to be replaced, carpeting if it needs to be cleaned, or put hardwood, the modern hardwood flooring down.
I know the modern hardwood flooring. You know what? We have modern hardwood flooring here in my house.
Yes, you do. Okay. 7, you want to pressure wash your driveways, sidewalks, and patios. 8, you want to have a landscaper come in, bring bark, trim your trees and bushes, and edge your lawn.
You know what that bark does?
That bark raises your home value.
It makes those home photos look better.
It makes for pretty pictures.
Yes.
And drone videos. And buyers love it. It makes the yard look like it's low maintenance. We all know weeds grow through that bark, but doesn't seem like it would. So that was number 8. That was number 8.
Okay. Number 9.
Number 9 is have the home professionally cleaned if you don't want to do it yourself. And 10 is one of my favorites. Have the windows and window tracks cleaned inside and out. Makes the windows look brand new. Gives the home that sparkle. And now we're
going to turn it up to 11, right?
Yes, we're up to this is the last one on my list. Number 11 is staging. So staging includes, maybe putting some of the seller's belongings in the garage if they're continuing to live there and doing a partial staging. Or it could be we put all the seller stuff in the garage and except for beds, and things like that, and then just stage the whole thing. It depends on what's necessary for that particular price range. So, and that includes adding artwork and, mirrors and, modern mirrors and, so it's pillows and throws. It just can make all the difference, a world of difference on a home. So there you go. That's my 11. That's my short list of 11. I have service providers for all of those. Making up my paper blown away. Oh my God. All right. Whenever you're live, this kind of thing happens, wind comes up. Boom! Everything you own is down the porch.
Okay. So we've gone through the top 11 to-dos, what you should do. This is Kat's successful formula for listing a home. There you go. Okay. So now let's go kind of taking another approach. Let's take a look at some of the home seller mistakes. You want to take a look at that?
So some of the things that would cost you time on the market when you go to list your home. So, and there's quite a list of them. So these are common home selling mistakes that sellers can make and really can be rather inadvertent, just due to lack of knowledge, maybe not being properly counseled. because every seller wants the most they can get for their home. Every seller. It's so funny when they look at me and they say, Kat, I need to get every last dime out of this house. I'm like, every single seller says exactly the same thing. That's my job. That's my job, to get you every last dime you can get for the place. So that's, that's what I do. That's my specialty.
I've got a t-shirt design. I just came to me. It says, no dime left behind. There you go.
No dime. Oh my gosh, Dan. I don't know, Okay.
Boy,
no
Daddy's
dime
such
left
a dork.
behind.
No dime left behind. Anyway,
right.
let's move past my idiocy and we'll move on.
No, you're fine. I think you have a funny sense of humor, Dan.
Let's go to mistake number 1.
Okay, well, mistake number 1 is overpricing. And it's super easy for a seller to say, hey, listen, let's start high. We can always drop price. And that's only appropriate in a few scenarios. And it's not appropriate for your average home sale. Right. So it's a huge mistake, and it can cost you market time. And market time costs you money. So I just pulled data for the past 6 months in Snohomish County, and we ran numbers on average price per square foot for the various time frames. So 0 to 7 days, 8 to 14 days, 15 to 30 days, 31 to 90 days, and 90 plus days on the market. And it had a profound impact on the final sales price.
Let's bring that up.
Let's go over that, right?
Yeah, let's bring that up. That's pretty cool.
There's that chart Dan wanted to put on the
there it is
there for us. Sorry, you TikTokers, you can't see it, but it's a really pretty chart, and it shows exactly how many days on the market and what you get price per square foot. So I'm going to go over that really quickly so you guys know what it says. So 0 to 7 days on the market. So if you sell within the first 7 days on the market, you're at $400 a square foot. And that's in Snohomish County, right? The last 180 days. If you're on the market 8 to 14 days, you're only getting $389 a square foot. And that equates to 2.75% less than if you sold within the first 7 days. Now, if your average sales price is $812,000 and $812,521, that equates to $22,344 if you miss the first 7 days and you sell the second week. So something to think about.
That sounds pretty rough, but then let's go to the next bucket.
It gets worse, Dan. It gets a lot worse. So 15 to 30 days on the market, you get $368 a square foot, 8% less than if you sold during the first 7 days on the market. 8%. That equates to $65,000. You do not want to sell 14 or 15 to 30 days on the market. You need to get sold before then. So, and going forward, that's going to get tougher, and that's going to be less true as we get into the later into the season, because those time frames automatically have to get stretched out.
Right.
So, but the data I took is from, essentially from March through August is really essentially what that data is from. I did 6 months. But I think it'll be interesting. I think I'll do October through March going forward, and let's see what that looks like. And then we'll put together a chart for that one too. But this is what we've got so far for the year. So 31 to 90 days on the market, you only get $362 a square foot. That's 9.5% less than if you sold during the first 7 days. Over $77,000 less than if you sold during the first week on the market. That's a huge hit. So there's a lot you can do to prepare your home for market that's not going to cost you $77,000 and get you sold a lot quicker. So the last one, over 90 days, $356 per square foot, 11% less than if you sold within the first week. That equates to almost $90,000. Again, that's for an average price home of $812,000 and change. So that's a lot of money for sitting on the market. And again, going forward, we're going to see those timeframes stretched out. So I'm going to run the numbers the same way I did for this time frame when I run the other season, right? Fall through winter. And we'll see where those come out at. But I would imagine that there'll be a lot less that sell within the first 0 to 7 days, and a lot more that sell within the first 2, not more, but there'll be more, relatively speaking, first 14 days. And then there'll be, I think it's going to all get stretched out.
Do you mind if I ask you a quick question about this stuff?
Yeah.
So let's just say, I mean, with all this stuff in mind, you as a realtor, I'm just trying to figure out what you're thinking. Let's say you get up to about day 8, 9, 10, 11. Now things are going to 12, 13. Let's say you get to day 12 and you're talking to the client. And do you start to think about, well, maybe the market's a little different than we were expecting? Do you come up with a new strategy at that point? It
depends what time. It depends. So it completely depends on what time of year it is and the house you're dealing with. Okay. So, I had a couple homes last year that sold that in that second week. I had a lot of listings actually that sold in that second week last year, and it was okay. Last year was a little dicier than it was this year. This summer was a pretty strong summer. Last summer, things kind of started to fall apart in June. Right. And so it was very, you would expect to be on the market that second week. And in that case, you don't panic. You just hang tight. If the feedback's really strong, you didn't overprice it. Just hang on. In this market, it's slowing. So I would not panic after the first 7 days. If you didn't get sold, I would have earlier this summer, but now I would not. Now I'm back to where I would have been last summer, okay. Which would have been, you really expect to get under contract within the first 2 weeks if you are priced well, right? 2 to 3 weeks at the most,
right? Okay.
So
I was just curious. That's all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's an interesting time because we've got such high interest rates and in combination with home prices that are not as high as they were last year at the peak, but have risen quite a bit this year. We're still up 12% in Snohomish County. Right. It'll be interesting to see what that number is next month. I expect that to come down a little bit, but I would still anticipate we're going to be up 5 or 6% for the year. Right. So with people,
it's still going to be still a pretty decent year overall.
Yeah, I mean, if you get 4 or 5% appreciation in real estate on an annual basis, you're sitting pretty in a few years. You can move up, in 5 years easy, and you'll have some extra equity in there. So, yeah, I think I'm really would be fine with 4 or 5%, especially given the interest rates. I mean, I just feel bad for my buyers. I want the sellers to do well, but listen, we people that own homes already, we're doing just quite fine. We had quite a lot of appreciation. We don't really need to bury the buyers. So, anyway,
all right, let's move on to mistake number 2.
Yeah. So that's fun. I like talking mistake number 1. That's a very interesting data set. I had a lot of fun pulling that. So let's go. I have to change pages. All right. Mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 is don't skip the seller procured inspection and sewer scope. So, even though the market is softening, it's still a really good idea for the seller to maintain control of the process by having their home inspected and the sewer scoped to make sure that any big issues that show up, if any do, that they can choose the contractors or how that problem gets addressed. And then they can disclose that to the buyer unless it's been completely remedied, at which point probably doesn't need disclosing. So anyway, so the beauty is in taking control of that process is that the seller then gets to make the decisions, and it doesn't get turned over to the buyer. If the buyer has their own inspection, they're just going to ask you for a large sum of money. So if it's a big ticket item, or they might walk away even worse. So because now you've got something wrong with the house and you may not know what it is. Right. So the way inspections work in Washington State. So don't skip the home inspection. The home inspection only runs you $500 to $700. You can have a sewer scope for another couple $100 on top of that. So, even if it ran you $1,000, it's the best $1,000 insurance policy you can give yourself, seller. Really.
And if you don't want to spend the money out of your own pocket, you've always got the Windermere. I think it's called the Home
Oh yeah, I
Ready
wanted to bring
program.
that up. The Windermere Home Ready program. So if you're trying to get your house ready for market and you don't really have the funds immediately available, or it's going to be tough to get them, you don't want to have to sell stocks and things like that. If you don't want to, you might potentially be taking losses, or you might not want to take the gains, right? So
Right.
you can utilize the Windermere Ready program and tap into up to $100,000 in home equity with this program very quickly. They can usually make a decision in a day, and I believe you can usually have the money in your checking account within a couple of weeks. It's a very streamlined process. I think that most home sellers would be very impressed with how easy it is, and the cost is minimal. It really is for what you're getting, because the fact that you can get your home properly prepared for market means that you're going to sell it faster and for more money.
Well,
So,
real quick, and I'm sorry to go backwards, but I'm
oh
going
no,
to go
you can
backwards.
go backwards.
Well,
I'm
let's go
going to try
back
to see this here.
because
Hold on.
these things aren't too expensive. Let's go back to see how much it cost. The cost of the items that you're going to be fixing first is the cost of not fixing them and keeping them on and keeping the house on the market longer, right?
Yeah, the days on market are going to kill you. I mean, once you're on the market 20, 30 days, you're just going to assume that you're not going to get full price in any market.
Right.
So, and then if you have additional items that need repairing and you have not had your own inspection report, you're really leaving yourself open to the buyer's interpretation of what would need to be done and how much that's going to cost. And I got to tell you, when I'm walking through a home with buyers, they're using $10,000 as a minimum in most cases. So if the exterior needs exterior paint, they're going to maybe throw 20 at that, depending on how big the house is, right? If it needs
Right.
interior paint, they're going to throw the same 20 at that. Again, if it's a modest size house. If it needs a new roof, they're going to be throwing 20, 30,000 at that. It's not a matter of being realistic, or maybe they're doing some of the work themselves like they could. So
Right.
they're throwing big numbers at things. And when we're talking about minor remodels, people are throwing around numbers, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I
So
just was
this,
showing a couple out in Camino yesterday. Wasn't that yesterday? It was yesterday,
Mhm.
Dan. Oh my God, the days are running together. I'm so busy.
yes,
Um,
yesterday.
and they threw the number 200,000 out to remodel this house. And and to be fair, that's what it might cost if you actually got a contractor in there and you did everything that you wanted to do. It probably would run you 200,000. But there's a lot of things a homeowner can do on their own if they want to, and
Right.
save a good chunk of that. So you don't necessarily have to, hire a contract of, full retail contractors to handle the whole thing. You can have them
That's
do
right.
the parts that are more difficult. And you can have a handyman do, install trim and things like that if you've got a talented carpenter.
Right.
So you're not paying the full bore for, contractor.
Right.
So
Well, let's get on to number 3.
number three,
That was me.
neglecting home curb.
Curb appeal.
Start over. Number 3, neglecting curb appeal. So take a look at your house from the street side and see, what does it need? Does it need exterior lighting along the sidewalk? Do we need to trim back some of the bushes or trees so you can see the house? Are there some special features in the front that you might like to highlight with lighting? Bark in the front yard where there is no real grass growing can be a nice way to finish it off. Replacing the front doors, that's one of my favorite. Replacing the front door and painting it, putting on new hardware can really spruce up a front porch or a front door, front entry.
Right.
So I love that. You can pick a color, Black is the one that gets you the most money. I will tell you that. I
Black
think the
front
number
doors.
is between 6 and 8. What was that number I told you, Dan? I think it was between 6,500 and 8,300 extra if you painted your house, your door black.
Front door.
Front door black. And so
Wow.
you know what? I was going to go with blue doors like I've had for 20 years, 25 years. Oh my gosh. I kind of thought in the middle of the night, I was like, I'd like to change it up a little. I'm going to go with black doors, Dan. I'm going to make my French doors black, and the little man door to my garage black, and the front French door black, and then my back door is, I don't have any normal doors, guys. I'm sorry. The one to my garage is sort of, not half French. Anyway, and then I have a Dutch door going in my back porch, which is really cool because I leave that top open. The top that's got 3 nice horizontal windows in it. I leave that open like all summer. It's amazing. So I love that. So I can keep my little dog in, but I get all the nice air and, flowing through my house. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a fan of the black door. I am. I showed one of the houses to my Camino Island clients yesterday. Had a really nice black door, kind of a craftsman style. And, I have to say it was gorgeous. It was really beautiful. And it was a nice entry to that home. That was a beautiful home that we looked at. It just had steps. Yeah. They didn't want steps. They're trying to, they sold a split level and they're trying to get into something that they can age in gracefully and not have to worry about climbing stairs. And they're being very smart about it. Yeah. We're just so disappointed that there isn't more on the market in Camino. It's just unusual to not be able to come up with affordable. I'm not talking 500. I'm talking about up to 850. We can't get them into a Rambler or a Daylight Rambler for anything. It's just we've been looking and looking and looking and looking. So I finally showed them like 5 houses yesterday, and 3 of them had a significant amount of cigarette smoke smell.
Smoker house.
To the houses in their price range. And we all felt disgusting, like we had to go home and take a shower. So that was kind of sad. We all kind of ended the day feeling a little disappointed.
Call Service Pro before you show your house. There you go.
Well, it's really tough to get that tar off the cabinets, tar off the walls. Smoking cigarettes in the house, as much I know it's a lifestyle. My dad smoked cigarettes. I'm really not bagging on people that smoke. I'm really not. But when you go to put your house on the market, it is a factor. Yeah. And for these people, it is a factor. And so I have to tell them what it takes to actually get rid of that. And it's not just repainting. My daughter had a listing in Kingston next door to her very own home. These lovely women lived there, Wanda and her friend. And we were all friends. I mean, we loved them. They smoked, they were smokers. And again, it doesn't bother us. We have no issue with that. But when we went to sell their house, she listed it. My daughter listed it. She thought we would just blow in a coat of paint. I neglected to tell her that she needed to kills it first. And because she was using my painter, Brent, I felt fairly confident. I didn't really give it a lot of thought. Because she was using my painter, I just assumed he would impart that information to her and do that. Well, he didn't do that. So you couldn't smell the smoke for about 3 or 4 days. So she put it on the market. Buyer fell in love with it, put an offer in, and like 3 days later, oh boy, that smoke smell was back with a vengeance. We did everything we could to try to minimize it. I mean, we had the carpets steam cleaned again, but unfortunately the buyers didn't seem to mind. So we got lucky on that one. We really skated on that one, but you have to use oil-based original kills primer, and you spray that. You have to blow out the whole house. And if you can pull up the flooring like carpets, you want to do that. And then you have to use special cleaner on the hardwood floors and the cabinetry to try to remove that tar. Otherwise, you'll continue to smell that. I mean, it just gets in everything, it is what it is. So, and that's just if somebody's not a smoker, they're not used to being around it, or they're particularly sensitive to it. It's not everybody.
Right.
But it is a certain segment of the population that are going to be sensitive to the cigarette smoke. But anyways, we ran into that three of the houses. So that was disappointing because it's usually not that many that we experience, that you experience cigarette smoke smell in. So it was just happenstance. It just happened to be that's what was available for us yesterday. So
right. That's going to change. So
hopefully something comes along.
Let's move on. Mistake number 4.
Mistake number 4. That's a good one. Do not skip doing repairs. So if there's little things that don't work in the house and you've kind of gotten used to that, new buyers not going to be impressed. It's going to reflect poorly on the home itself and make the buyer think that maybe you didn't keep up with the maintenance. So if you've got a dripping faucet upstairs, or you've got loose towel bars in your bathrooms that are obviously loose, you want to have those things repaired. I know it sounds like a little thing, but it reflects poorly on the home and makes buyers think that you're not taking care of the maintenance as it needed to be.
Yeah.
So
And
don't
a lot of these
pass
repa- a lot of these repairs that you're talking about really aren't expensive repairs per se.
Oh no,
They're
they're little tiny things. Yeah.
little tiny things. Yeah, just be attentive, basically, to
There's
different
all
things.
kinds of little things that go wrong, lights that go out or light fixtures that stop working altogether.
Right.
And like I've got one on my porch that hasn't worked for 15 years. And I'm getting my house painted. I'm finally going to have my neighbor who's an electrician, which I love. I'm going to have him come down and take a look at it and see if he can't repair that. But I have a number of those things in my house where if I go to sell it, I'm going to have all those things fixed. So why don't I fix them for myself? And I'm just going to say that to you guys too. If you have a house that you own, that you're living in, and you have little things that are bugging you, fix them now. Enjoy them. Enjoy the house while you still are living there. Don't do it for the buyer. Do it for you. You're the one who's paying for the house. So
that's very true.
There,
Very true.
you got money tied up in that thing.
That's right. Well, this kind of leads into mistake number 5.
Oh yeah?
Which it kind of does.
I got to turn the page down.
But that would be poor listing photos.
Well, yeah, no, mistake number 5 is using cell phone photos in your listing. So I saw it again this morning. I was sending out listings to my clients and somebody else used cell phone photos. And I thought, it's not that expensive to get a professional photographer out there, and it's your job. The listing broker is tasked with providing that seller with good marketing materials that are not going to hurt the seller. And so cell phone photos will inevitably hurt the number of people or impact the number of people that come see your home. So if you as a seller think it's going to save you a few $100, that's not where you cut costs. Do not cut it on photos.
It would seem to me too, if you have a professional photographer, you not only can get a higher quality photo, but you can get higher quality videos to put in some of your social media marketing.
Yeah. So I have a media team, and sometimes they send out one person, sometimes they send out 3. Just depends on the job and what their schedules are like. But they've got they can do drone videos that they can incorporate into home videos, video projects for the home. Right. And they can also do the short format videos, which can be very appealing, and we can use those on social media. We can also send them to prospective buyers if they reach out, and to their buyers agents, just for a little bit of extra, bang, to let the buyer experience the home from another angle yet. So, and we can also post some videos along with the Matterport on the listing.
Right. And then,
but they're all high definition. So the place needs to be sparkly clean.
Right. In 4,000K, right?
Yeah, well, it depends on, could be.
4K.
I mean, my computer's 4,000K. I mean, I got a new computer and it's like,
right.
I don't know. You guys tell me, how clear is my picture?
It's 4,000. It's 4K clear. Let me tell you.
Is it? Is it? Well,
it is.
I mean, it looks good to me. I don't know.
It is. It's very,
but I know I look better than I did before.
It looks very sharp.
On there.
Yes, you do.
I think I'm getting a little more shade. Oh, look at my face. It's getting all shaded.
Okay,
that's a little better. All right, we're
gonna make our way through this before we get started.
Okay.
Well, we still have light. Let's go to number 6.
Mistake number 6 is it's ignoring marketing. So, and that really is on your agent. So if you have a good listing agent is going to make sure that your home is on social media. They're advertising the open houses the best they can, the best to their ability, to try to get traffic to your home. They're putting out open house signs. They're holding the house open, hopefully both days on the weekend, at least every other weekend, to get you the maximum exposure. So, but marketing matters, and what matters more is the marketing materials. And so putting together nice brochures for every single property, as well as really nicely done professional flyers, is also a nice touch for every single listing. I'm not talking about the $1 million, $2 million listings. I mean, this should be, every home deserves the best media package that you can give them.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that, whether it's a $350,000 condo or a $1.5 million, house in the hills in Woodinville. Not that you can only buy a house in the hills in Woodinville for 1.5, but if you could, they probably are more like 2. You can, but you're not going to get. It's not going to be a big one.
All right, let's move to mistake number 7. This is pretty quick, but it makes a lot of sense.
Mistake number 7 is not being available when buyers want to tour the home. So you need to make the home available when they schedule their appointment. I don't care if it's 1 hour from now. You make that house available for them, and you leave. You make it available and you leave. And I had a seller on yesterday. I keep forgetting it was yesterday. Oh my God, I'm so busy. Yesterday I tried to make an appointment for, I think it was 12:20 yesterday, and I submitted that about 9:30 in the morning, and no one got back to me. And I'm driving to Camino at 10 o'clock, and I get there at 11. Or I'm sorry, I'm driving there at 11. I get there at 12. And I get through my first showing, because they did get back to me and they approved our showing. I ended up calling the agent, and I texted her twice. Finally she gets back to me hours later. We skipped that property, and it was just lucky that she got back to me before we were completely gone from Camino, and the other homes were close enough that we could fit it in,
Right.
at the end of our tour. But it did take us an extra probably 30-45 minutes longer to do it that way, because we had to backtrack. So, I'm sure the agent appreciated that we made the effort, but we could have easily missed it just because she didn't get back to us in time. If we'd seen one less house, we would have been off Camino Island by the time she reached back out, and we would have missed it. And they probably would just never have seen it.
Right.
So you have to be available.
Yeah.
Okay. Mistake number 8. Mistake number 8, staging, 100% a must. So at the very least, you have a stager walk through your home, tell you what to take down, tell you what you can leave. And then best case scenario, you allow them to partially stage it if you really have furnishings that are very reflective of the price range you're trying to sell your home in. So, and if it's not, or you're going to be out of there, you're moving out, then have the thing fully staged. You can stage just the main living areas and the primary suite. That's what I like to do. That's, and then have something in the other bedrooms, whether it's a desk and a picture and a lamp, but something in those other rooms. You don't necessarily have to have a bed in there, but something where buyers, when they're going through the photos, they can tell they're going into a different room. So something that differentiates that room from another room. So many times I look at listing photos and I can't tell how many bedrooms it's got, because I'm always looking for like the different bedding or the different pictures or what have you. And if there isn't anything in a couple of the rooms, you might think it's just 2 pictures of the same room.
Right.
That happens a lot. So I think it's really important to make sure that, and that's the reason why. So that's why, you guys, that's why if I say, listen, we got to get something in every room probably, but this is the reason why. It's a good reason.
Okay, let's skip, or not skip. We're not skipping anything, but moving down to mistake number 9, which is kind of stated.
Mistake number 9 is discarding feedback. And when that comes into play is, like, for instance, when I was in Camino Island yesterday, I had all the agents pretty much text me, asking me what the feedback was on their properties. And in a lot of the cases, we told them that there was cigarette smoke smell, so that they would understand that they can relay that to the seller and let the seller know, listen, this is actually, causing buyers to take pause, in a lot of, so you really, when you get feedback from a buyer's agent, you do want to take that seriously as a listing agent and pass that along to the seller.
Well, I hate
a lot of times, what's that?
I hate to put it this way, but as somebody that, non-cigarette smeller, all that stuff, you walk into a house that has been smoked in and you can smell it, you kind of ignore all the good points of it because it's always on your mind.
You get distracted by the negative. So it's very easy to get distracted by the negative. And so when there's a smell, I don't care what kind of smell it is, whether it's, don't even burn strong candles, guys. That's just, I don't like it. And you don't want to risk offending 15% of the buyers. That 15% might have been a buyer that's going to buy your house. So don't burn really strong candles. I mean, I don't mind a lightly scented candle if you want to do that, but it's a risk. It's a risk because not everybody likes smells. Your best bet is that house is clean and there are no residual odors. Hopefully you figured out how to remove all those. Let me add something here. Ozonators. Oh my gosh, you can rent ozonators for getting rid of a lot of unwanted smells. I don't know how well it works on cigarette smoke, but I will tell you it works really well with pet odors. So it's definitely worth trying. You have to get one that's big enough and powerful enough for the size space. The little ones, can do a bedroom at a time. Also, you don't want to be in the home while you're using an ozonator. Do not stay in the home while an ozonator is running, please.
So is that something you could go down to the equipment rental store and rent?
Yeah, I believe like that what is it over there on Highway 99? What's that called? That equipment rental over there? I can't remember if it's Hertz or what the name of it is. I run the risk of offending somebody by not remembering, but there's an equipment rental place down, I think, Montlake Terrace area, kind of down that direction.
Who are you going to offend? The pro equipment rental?
I don't know. I took a social media class today, and I got to tell you, there's so many ways to get in trouble. I mean, you can't even say that, you're the Bellevue's realtor. You can't say that. You can't say it. You can't say you're Bellevue's realtor.
Wow.
Or that you can't use a location with realtor. You can't do it.
You can't.
It's an infringement. Yeah. It's a violation.
What do you say?
Well, I could say I'm a realtor.
Oh, okay.
I could say I'm a realtor with Windermere in Woodinville, Washington, but I can't say that
you're Woodinville's realtor.
Nope. Or you can't say you're Bellevue's best realtor. Can't say that either.
Could you say like I'm Bellevue's darling realtor?
No.
No, you can't. Woodinville? No.
Can't use and see, and I'm mistaken. I actually thought you could. I didn't know there was anything attached to that. The word realtor also has to be capitalized. I believe Windermere does as well, which I haven't been doing. So you need to capitalize Windermere, capitalize realtor. There's another word that needs capitalizing too. What is it?
Best?
No. Anyway, there's certain words that have to be capitalized when you're using them in social media and other marketing. And so you have to know which ones those are. And you also have to have your designated broker's brokerage correct name within one click. So it could be in the first couple lines of the description, but it has to be one click, and they should not have to click more to get to that. I feel like if it's in your profile, I feel like that it should be okay. But again, you can't have them click more. It has to be one click away.
One click away.
Okay. So that's something you and I are going to have to talk about off camera. I learned a lot today, you guys. 4 hours. A lot of it was fair housing, which, to be fair, I just took fair housing not that long ago. So I was almost sleeping.
Well, thank God. All I could say is thank God you took that class and not me, because I would probably have not made it through without.
The first hour was great, but I did get to ask really specific questions, and so it was very useful.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very
good.
Yeah.
I think I thought I might learn more than I did, but I've got I probably wrote down 10 notes. So I pulled away some information that I thought was very useful.
One click away. That was a note.
Well, that one I kind of knew. My daughter told me that. Somebody from her office told her I had to be within one click. But I just, I didn't know that it would have to be without clicking more. So that part was new. And, and there's other things that I learned, like the capitalizing realtor and how to utilize that word properly, and that you could get a violation. And the reason you would get a violation is someone would turn you in. So if somebody made a complaint with the proper authority, you could be fined.
That could be trouble.
Yeah. You could get your little ass in trouble, Dan. I could get my little ass in trouble. We got through everything, Dan?
I think we got through everything.
What time is it? Oh my God, it's almost 7 o'clock, huh?
7 o'clock, yeah.
Wow. We're pulling up the evening hours here.
Yes, we are.
I don't think I got any likes today. You guys don't
That's-
like me? Hi, Daniel. Hi, Brian. Hi, Steve. Hi, you guys. You know, I'd like to say hi to people more often, but even with these peepers, I can't see that far away because I sit back a little ways because I do this talking thing with my hands. So
and
sorry
it's a
about
small
that.
phone.
Well, it's the biggest iPhone, but it's,
Well,
it's
still
just
an
a
iPhone.
phone. Yeah,
It's just a phone. That's right.
it's just a phone.
Are you talking to your TikTok people on the live TikTok?
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
I was saying hi to them. I was calling them by name. People like that.
yes.
I like it when I'm on somebody's, page.
I do too. Well, I'm never on anyone's page, but I would like it if I was.
We're gonna have to figure out how to get you to go live on TikTok, Dan, because so far we failed on that. We just didn't have time today.
It just didn't. Yeah, last time we tried, there was I don't know what
a lot
happened.
of technical difficulties, and then we had technical difficulties because of my new computer. We've been plagued with technical difficulties the last 2 weeks.
But
we're getting better at this. We are getting better at this.
I don't know.
I don't even know what to say. So is it time for a drink?
The viewers want.
It's actually after 5.
Well, there we go. It's 5 o'clock here.
Cheers, everybody. What is it?
So you think I'm drinking a nice cup of coffee here? Wrong. Had you fooled.
What do you got there, Dana? Vodka tonic?
I do. Even better. Yes.
Look at us holding off having a sip.
Well,
Oh, you didn't hold off, huh, Dan?
Well, you got to make it.
It's kind of like day drinking, but it's not really day. That's the thing. We're well into the evening. We weren't supposed to be recording this late, you guys. Honestly, I don't do that well at night. I like to sit down, put my feet up.
It is kind of
relax.
You're up early though. You work.
I get up at like 4:30, between 4 and 5 every single morning. So I go to bed early. Just a good plan for me.
You're posting on Facebook and Instagram and
all the
TikTok
platforms.
And
all the platforms. TikTok, YouTube, X, Threads. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram.
You're on all of them.
You can't get away from me. You punch in Woodinville real estate and see if I come up. Do it on any of it.
There you go. There's the payoff.
We'll see.
Goodness.
I think I got it dialed in where at least I show up. You don't have to punch my name in. Just punch in Woodinville real estate. Hopefully I pop up on all the platforms. I'm sure I do on YouTube.
I'm sure. I know you do on YouTube. Yeah.
You've checked that one out.
I've checked that one out. Yes.
Yeah.
You're doing good on YouTube.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign off on TikTok. So, hey, guys, I really love that you joined me today. We usually try to do this on Tuesdays. The last couple of weeks, my schedule has thrown us off. So my technical difficulties with my computer and my internet, oh my gosh, and my painters. So anyway, we'll see you again next week. And again, it's usually in the afternoon around 3 to 5, somewhere in there. All right. See you guys later.
Okay. And I'll click the end stream button. We'll go off of, we'll sign off from Facebook and YouTube and say goodbye to everyone.
Sounds good.
And goodbye, Facebook.
Bye,
and YouTube.
everybody.